He slipped the letter into the mailbox, but hadn't walked far before the mailbox's flag moved on its own. Alex froze, and then hurried back to check. Finding a reply letter had indeed appeared inside. But with absolutely no one around, where could this letter have come from? According to the letter writer, this year's spring would be exceptionally cold, even bringing a once-in-a-century spring snow. The writer kindly reminded Alex to dress warmly, but he dismissed it as absurd. How could it snow in the springtime of April? The very next moment, snowflakes began drifting outside the window, forcing Alex to wonder if the sender truly existed in the future. Not long before, Alex had bought this lakeside cabin full of windows. On his very first day moving in, a letter arrived. The writer claimed her name was Kate, the cabin's previous tenant, who'd moved away in a hurry without updating her mailing address, so she hoped Alex could forward her mail. Kate also added that the dog paw prints on the bridge and the cardboard boxes in the attic were already there before she moved in.
What the hell is she talking about?
When Alex went up to the attic, however, he saw no sign of the boxes Kate mentioned. Yet the next morning, while painting the porch railing, a small dog suddenly appeared and trotted across the bridge behind him. Alex started to shoo the dog away, but the fresh trail of paw prints left him stunned. He then went to the attic, picked up yesterday's letter, and stood there almost in a daze. Meanwhile, at that very moment, Kate was chatting with her mother in Daly Plaza. The pleasant afternoon was shattered by a sudden car crash on the street. Kate rushed over, and though she performed CPR immediately as a doctor, she couldn't save the man in the end. Noticing her emotional state, Kate's supervisor gave her a few days off. Perhaps guided by fate, Kate found herself back at the lakeside cabin, only to discover the current owner wasn't living there. Just as she prepared to leave, she spotted an uncollected letter inside the mailbox.
Dear Ms. Forster, I got your note, and I'm afraid there must be some kind of misunderstanding. As far as I know, the lake house has been empty for several years. Maybe your note was intended for the Sandberg house down the shore.
Since no one has lived in this house for years, but I'm curious about the paw prints.
Kate was deeply puzzled by Alex's seemingly nonsensical words. Seeing it was dated 2004, she quickly wrote back, insisting she hadn't made a mistake. The house had indeed been her former residence. At the end of her letter, she included her current address and made sure to note that the present year was 2006. Alex was shocked upon reading it but chose not to dwell on it, and instead went to Chicago to meet his brother Henry. Having not seen each other for 4 years, they marveled at the changes in one another. Just then, their father emerged from the office building. Alex started to approach him but held back. Even as time flowed on, the distance between them and their father remained unchanged. Their father, Simon, was a prominent local architect, and as he remained immersed in his career long-term, the care and connection for his family gradually faded from his life. That had led to lingering tension between him and his sons. Alex, returning now, had also taken a job in real estate development, which stunned Henry. Because of their father's influence, Alex had always deliberately avoided the construction industry. Though Henry worked at their father's firm now, their interactions were strictly professional, devoid of familial closeness. As night deepened, Alex somehow ended up at the address Kate had written in her letter. Approaching it, he realized it was an unfinished housing development set for completion in 18 months. This convinced him Kate had definitely mixed up the location and time. However, to prove she wasn't making things up, Kate promptly found photos from 2 years prior. If Alex was truly from 2004, he would witness the biggest spring snowfall ever recorded on April 3rd. She even sent him a scarf, hoping he wouldn't catch a cold. But Alex, receiving the letter, paid it little mind, especially since that very day was April 3rd. As he turned away, he was startled to find the calm night sky now gently swirling with thick snowflakes. That moment made him start to believe that this mysterious girl writing to him might really be living in 2006. And when Kate saw the raised flag on the lakeside cabin's mailbox, she too slowly realized the truth. From that point on, seemingly pulled by fate, they embarked on an incredible journey across time. Little by little, they opened their hearts, sharing names, past stories, and secrets they had never told anyone else. Like old friends reunited, yet with the flutter of a first meeting. Even more astonishing, the dog by their sides was the same one.
She's skinny, has sad eyes, snores, and sleeps like a person. I don't know why, but I call her Jack.
Hello, Jack.
As their exchanges multiplied, simple letters no longer felt like enough comfort. Alex mailed Kate a map, and shortly after, they began dating across the years, transcending time and space. Kate followed the map's markings, tracing Alex's steps through their shared city, finding rare, quiet moments away from her demanding work. Along the way, Kate discovered beauty she'd overlooked before and little surprises Alex left for her on street corners. Alex's presence felt like warm winter sunshine, gently warming Kate's heart. Yet she couldn't forget the greenery surrounding the lakeside cabin. All those trees were planted by Alex, who then brought a sapling to the front of Kate's apartment building. As the sapling took root, a sheltering tree miraculously appeared beside Kate just as she was caught in a downpour. Later, Alex visited his father's home and found Simon writing his memoirs. Alex handed him some design plans. Simon initially thought they were Alex's work, only to realize they depicted the very lakeside cabin he himself had built. Alex had merely improved upon it and put it on paper.
Indulge your father. Can't you take a little joke, for God's sake? Come on! Tell me. Where have you been? I really want to know.
I was trying to forget you. I'll forgive you.
After saying goodbye to his father, Alex found Henry and told him the cabin's true origin. Henry hadn't been born yet at that time, and Alex was only 8 years old. Alex expertly retrieved beer stored beneath the lake. Then the brothers went to the rooftop to discuss their father's architecture. To Alex, the house felt like a box. Through the glass, one could see the outside world, yet it was all just surface, unreachable, and distant. It even had motorized shades installed, all design elements pointing to their father's need for control. Alex bluntly explained the root of their distance from their father. Henry could also see that Alex's current state was nothing like the man he used to be. In his memory, his brother would never settle for building a vacation cabin here. The Alex of the past was a warrior charging toward his dreams, which is why Henry deeply hoped Alex would join him in the world of architecture.
I'm sorry, I can't. I just, What? I've got other plans.
Do you have a girlfriend? What is that? You hesitated.
No, I didn't hesitate. Come on, man, I don't have any time for that.
What does time have to do with it?
Oh, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
Meanwhile, Kate suddenly remembered losing a book at the train station 2 years prior. It was the only memento left by her father, and she hoped Alex could go to the station today to find it for her. But when Alex arrived at the address in the letter, he saw Kate in an intimate moment with her ex-boyfriend, leaving Alex with mixed emotions. Just as the train was about to leave, Kate boarded in a hurry. Alex walked to the seat and found it was Persuasion by Jane Austen, but the train had already started moving. Though Alex wanted to run and return it personally, it was impossible. Fortunately, Kate saw Alex at that moment, yet she didn't recognize him at all. Their first meeting in the same timeline thus ended unresolved. Just when it seemed their connection would face a long wait, fate's brushstrokes proved unpredictable. The next day, Alex's dog Jack suddenly ran off. Following Jack, Alex soon arrived at an apartment building. The apartment belonged to Kate's current boyfriend, Morgan, who chatted warmly with Alex and mentioned he was throwing Kate a birthday party that night, inviting Alex to attend. That evening, Kate returned home exhausted. Suddenly, a group of friends appeared behind her. She forced a smile to face everything. Kate deeply disliked such noisy gatherings, and though her boyfriend knew this, he had arranged the party anyway. As the evening wore on and the countryside cicadas sang, Kate stepped outside to find a moment of peace.
I hope it's a great year for you.
Thank you.
Alex had already been waiting there for some time. He had so much to say, but didn't know where to begin. So he could only carefully sit beside Kate, awkwardly starting a conversation. But there was no expected strangeness or stiffness between them. Instead, they clicked more and more. Alex also mentioned that book Kate cherished most. As their talk deepened, Kate gradually realized this man shared her very outlook on life, that sense of unspoken understanding sparking a strange warmth in her heart. After some time, Kate finally came to her senses and prepared to leave. But in the shadow of the night, Alex didn't want to let the moment end and followed her to the door. Luckily, romantic music began playing nearby, and Kate couldn't resist inviting Alex to dance. They danced a romantic waltz under the moonlight, and as the intimate atmosphere swirled around them, the distance between them closed until, in a deep moment, they kissed passionately. But right at that moment,
Kate!
seeing the awkward situation, They had to part hastily. The next morning, Alex wrote to the Kate of 2 years later about the previous night's encounter, and only then did Kate realize that man had been Alex. She scolded Alex for being too timid, lacking the courage to express his feelings face to face. And Alex deeply wanted to voice that affection, but he also didn't want to disrupt Kate's current relationship. Fortunately, the future Kate had already broken up with her boyfriend. Alex had time and the chance to wait for that belated reunion. Yet fate is always full of irony. That day, Alex suddenly learned his father had a heart attack and rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, Simon was fine. He was continuing to sketch his memoir. But facing Alex's genuine concern, Simon remained cold, not only ungrateful but rejecting Alex's care with harsh, grating words. After leaving the hospital, Alex told Kate that the lakeside cabin was actually built by his father before he became famous. Back then, he was very family-oriented and deeply loved his wife. The lakeside cabin was a gift for Alex's mother. But as his father's fame grew, he became absorbed in his busy career and no longer had time for his family. He failed to balance career and home, which ultimately drove his wife away. Not long after, illness mercilessly claimed his mother's life. Yet the father did not attend the funeral. Alex then entered the hospital room, bringing coffee for his father. After Alex sat down, his father handed him a museum proposal, clearly displaying a structure designed to interact with light. Alex offered his own insights, briefly pointing out the pros and cons to his father.
A truly great structure, one that is meant to stand the tests of time, never disregards its environment. A serious architect takes that into account. He knows that if he wants presence, he must consult with nature.
This was a long overdue reconciliation. Though on the surface they were discussing architecture, the father was silently approving Alex's choices and persistence. He finally understood that living isn't just about building achievements, but also about learning to coexist gently with others and nature. That is the true meaning of existence. Simon pursued grandeur his whole life, yet at life's end, he grasped the value of humility. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Kate found Simon's death certificate among the records. At the same time, Alex received the tragic news about his father. Kate had already arrived at the lakeside cabin, knowing Alex must be grieving deeply today, so she placed Simon's memoir, published 2 years later, into the mailbox for Alex. She hoped this would show Alex how much his father loved him, because that memoir contained not only the architectural works Simon was most proud of, but also a photo he had treasured for years, yet never mentioned to his son. Alex finally realized then that his father did love him. It was just that his love was too silent, too profound. Suddenly, an impulse surged within Alex. He intensely longed to see Kate. So, he reserved a table at a restaurant for 2 years later, hoping Kate would arrive on time tomorrow. Even though Kate's tomorrow was a full 2 years away for Alex, he was still willing to wait. The next day, Kate arrived at the agreed-upon restaurant, dressed beautifully. She was filled with anticipation, imagining their first meeting. But after waiting a long time, Alex never appeared. Alex was equally confused. He couldn't understand why his future self hadn't shown up. But to apologize, Alex suggested they set another date. This time, however, Kate refused. This very missed connection made her question her former conviction. Kate began to doubt if their feelings were just a dream carefully woven by fate, destined to have no direction, no longed-for destination. Ultimately, Kate decided to break off contact with Alex and return to her real life. From then on, Alex never received another letter from Kate, yet he still wrote faithfully, day after day. But as autumn winds swept up leaves and winter snow quietly fell, he still never got a reply from Kate, and Jack ran off uncontrollably at that moment. Alex didn't chase after him. He resolved to let go and decided to leave this memory-filled lakeside cabin. Looking at the letters exchanged with Kate, his heart was a mix of emotions, but in the end, Alex sealed them all up and placed them in the attic. He then found Morgan and handed him the keys to the lakeside cabin. As Alex turned to leave, Jack somehow appeared beside Morgan. Alex later found his brother, and the two started a design studio together. Yet when the night was quiet, memories would still flood Alex's thoughts. He became obsessed with renovating the lakeside cabin, because Kate would love it there. When Henry learned Alex was no longer exchanging letters with Kate, he advised Alex to find a real woman.
While it lasted, she was more real to me than any of that stuff. She was more real to me than anything I've ever known. I saw her. I kissed her. I love her. And now she's gone.
Later, Kate, who was on the same timeline as Alex, moved into the lakeside cabin. However, a strange noise coming from the bedroom floor prompted her to go and investigate. She discovered a hidden compartment containing a mysterious bundle, inside of which was the book she cherished most, and right at the bookmark, a romantic phrase was written. Kate didn't understand its meaning but felt a wave of inexplicable sadness. Soon, 2 years passed. Kate, now in 2008, got back together with Morgan as she reached marriageable age. Morgan promptly bought her an apartment, and they then approached an architectural studio named Visionary Vanguard Associates for renovation design. Today was also Valentine's Day, and Kate thoughtfully prepared a gift for Morgan. The person who greeted them at the studio was Henry. Just as they finalized everything and prepared to leave, Kate happened to glance at a design drawing on the wall. It was the lakeside cabin.
My brother did, actually.
Who's your brother?
Alex Weiler?
Do you know how I can get in touch with him? Is he anywhere that I can?
I'm sorry. He died 2 years ago today, actually.
Only then did Kate realize Alex hadn't missed their date intentionally. He had passed away forever due to a car accident. Learning the accident happened at Daly Plaza, Kate could no longer contain her emotions. She drove straight to the lakeside cabin. With trembling hands, she wrote a warning for Alex and hurriedly placed it in the mailbox. She prayed fervently that her actions might help Alex avoid the accident. Meanwhile, Alex, back in 2006, learned from his brother that today was Valentine's Day. He remembered Kate telling him he had witnessed an accident in the square on this very Valentine's Day. So Alex rushed to the lakeside cabin, found the exact location of the square from old letters. When he arrived, he truly saw Kate. Alex could barely hold back his longing, about to cross the street, while Kate stood sobbing uncontrollably in front of the cabin. Time seemed to freeze. The mailbox flag dropped at that very moment, and Alex successfully received Kate's letter.
Wait 2 years, Alex. Come to the lake house. I'm here.
At the same time, Kate at the lakeside cabin heard the sound of an approaching car. She slowly stood up and walked towards the distance. The person arriving was her longed-for love. This love story, spanning 4 years across time, finally reached its conclusion. Some say time is the cruelest distance, where even breaths can't sink. But Alex and Kate's letters traversed the 2-year gap, one by one, building a bridge only they understood. They couldn't meet, couldn't embrace, yet their words comforted each other in the loneliest hours. She had once watched him leave this world, unaware it was the moment he was rushing towards her. Perhaps love doesn't always arrive perfectly or respond promptly every time, but true love never misses its mark. It crosses time's barriers, defies fate's whims, quietly settles within our hearts, patiently waiting for that moment destined only for each other. Because love is never time's prisoner, but the soul's free bridge.